Let me know what you all think about the Milwaukee GM and Giannis for that matter. I think they both lied. I mean, the general manager says that he came out and basically said it was a sense of urgency to win a championship. Hold on. You're 30-13. What are you talking about? A sense of urgency? I mean, you're 30-13. You played 43 games. So basically half the season, you won 30 of those games. And what? That's not a sense of urgency? I don't get it. I don't get it. What do we need? What else are you wanting for him to do? So here's a good question by my man Austin. What's going on, Austin? Welcome back to the live stream, man. Welcome back to the show. Why does Doc Rivers seem to ruin everything he touches in the past 10 years? Because Doc Rivers is not a good basketball coach. That's why. Doc Rivers is a horrible basketball coach that nobody wants to just come out and say. I don't know why they won't. He's living off a championship that he won almost 20 years ago with 3 Hall of Famers and a borderline 4th, and they act like he did such a great coaching job. He hasn't done anything even remotely close to that, and they only won once. They only won once. It's not like they won 4 titles in Boston. They won once. But they just lied in Milwaukee. They just flat out lied. How they did Adrian Griffin, they should be ashamed of themselves. And even the bigger lie is Giannis. I'm ashamed of Giannis, man. I'm ashamed of Giannis. Giannis came. I didn't know. I was surprised. But you notice he said I didn't know. I was surprised, but he didn't defend Adrian Griffin. Did any of y'all notice that? I'm shocked. Oh, I had no idea. I had no clue that they were doing this. Okay. And that's basically what he said. I mean, that's pathetic. That's pathetic. I have no respect. Now, again, if that's what you wanted to do, fine. If you didn't get along with the head coach, fine. If it wasn't working, we don't know the inner workings of the locker room, fine. But don't lie to me and tell me you were shocked and surprised. No, you weren't. You had your hands all in this thing. Telling me you're shocked, surprised. I had no idea that this was going to happen. Hey, come on, man. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? So, and there it is right there, Jacob Perkins. Exactly. Like Giannis isn't the one calling the shots. Exactly. Exactly. My whole thing is, why do we believe that Doc Rivers is the answer? And why didn't you give Adrian Griffin, okay, it's not working. This is what we need to do. This is how I see it needs to get fixed. Okay? Let's see if we can't fix this thing. It's clearly not broken because we're 30-13. So it's not broken. But we got to fix it. How you didn't even give the man an opportunity to fix it. Because I'll tell you right now, 43 games in an 82-game season ain't enough time to fix something. And maybe you didn't like his defensive rotations. Maybe you didn't like his defensive strategy. Okay. Hey, coach, this isn't going to work. We got to change some stuff. Well, how do you know, man? Give it a chance. Give him a chance. So here's a question by my man Patrick Cockrell again. Here's a question. In the NBA, does coaching actually matter all that much in today's game, or is it more on the players? Coaching matters. Coaching matters. When we're talking about defensive rotations and offensive sets, coaching matters. Now, does it matter as much as player execution? No, but that you can say that about every single sport at every single level. It doesn't matter as much, but yeah, you got to have coaching. You got to have a game plan. Because you can get out coached, you can get out schemed. I mean, other than a team just getting red hot, making a bunch of shots, that's different. So, do the Wizards go for Griffin now? And yeah, I don't think Griffin. First of all, he interviewed 14 times for a head coaching job, and then they finally got one. Not to mention, Giannis wanted him to be the coach. Giannis wanted him to be the coach. And you're telling me after 43 games that, nope, not going to work. I want him out. GM just lied to us. Giannis just lied to us. They both should be ashamed of themselves. And not to mention, let me take that back. I think the GM is just following Giannis's orders. I think the GM is following what Giannis wanted done. But to bring in Doc Rivers, I just don't understand that. I just don't understand why you would bring in Doc Rivers. What I mean, how many? And I said the same thing about NFL coaches, and I'm going to say the same thing about NBA coaches. All the retreads in the NBA is ridiculous. Why would you bring in a coach that has been fired from the last 2 jobs for underachieving? What makes you think he's the guy? What makes you think that guy is the guy to get you over the hump, even though he's been on teams that were star-studded and underachieved, and that's why he got fired? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Where's the new blood? Where's the new way of thinking, or a different way of thinking? I mean, and yeah, Milwaukee will get better defensively because Doc is a pretty good defensive coach. They'll get better, but you don't know that they weren't going to get better with Adrian Griffin either, and you didn't even give them the opportunity. But here's my thing. How do you have Doc Rivers, who's supposedly giving advice to Adrian Griffin all this time? He's supposedly giving him advice. A month later, that guy that's giving advice all of a sudden is the coach. I mean, Jiminy Christmas. I mean, it just, man, you talk about sabotage at its highest level. I don't think it gets worse than that. I don't think it gets worse than that. I'm giving you advice. A month later, I got your job. Whew. Man. Sometimes one man can change a time. I don't understand what that means. Sometimes one man can change a time. Huh. That's an interesting take. But I get sometimes a man can change things, but Doc Rivers has had his opportunity. How many opportunities are we going to give Doc Rivers? How many times? And I know what some people are going to say. How are you as a black man talking bad about a black man? Man, I don't want to hear that. Doc Rivers is a bad basketball coach. Let me take that back. He's not bad. He's average at best. Average at best. And y'all know me. I just call it like it is. I don't care if you're blue, black, green, yellow, white, red, purple. Either you're good or you're bad. Doc Rivers, I can say it. Doc Rivers is bad. Shit. Doc Rivers is bad. Here's somebody on TikTok in all caps. Doc Rivers is horrible. Yes. Yes. Hell, I'm not afraid to say it. Doc Rivers is horrible. And how he got this job is ridiculous.